Sorry.
Yes, you can also ask questions to Gurkirat.
Okay, sir.
Gurkirat, tell us three things happening outside India in the world.
Um, so three things happening outside India right now would be the imposition of tariffs by President Donald Trump, by the newly elected President Donald Trump in the United States. Uh, in the Champions League football in Europe, Real Madrid just had a comeback against Manchester City with a very close call. In the La Liga, Barcelona are on the top of the table, going forward towards their another title consecutive win.
One is tariffs, one is Champions League. Third one,
La Liga, the Spanish football tournament.
tell us something about different from football.
Uh, Apart from football, it would be right now something happening outside India would be
Something in India.
in India recently. In India, recently, a few of the Indian YouTubers were summoned for a case regarding using foul language by the Supreme Court, which quickly escalated to a big issue in the country, which has people with opposing views regarding whether such serious steps should have been taken against them or not.
And
Sorry, and
two more incidents.
two more incidents. And recently, a girl of girl from outside of India, from Nepal, was murdered on a campus, and the authorities were trying to cover it up, which has become a very big escalated issue in Delhi. And an earthquake took place in the recently. There was also a railway stampede which took place on the Delhi railway station, which had authorities and people concerning about how the about the management issues of the railway stations as well. How so many people were let in, and how could such a big calamity take place?
Explain the YouTube incident and your views on it in detail.
Yeah, so there's this popular YouTuber Samay Raina who has a show, who's a fictional show called India's Got Latent on his YouTube channel, which is meant to be taken light in a light-hearted way, which is full of jokes and one might say 18 plus content as well. But it's a members only stream, so some people have to pay to watch it. But the clips are pirated, and there was an obscene comment made by Ranveer Alavadia on that show which quickly gathered the people's eye and attention, and people escalated that issue by saying how can somebody talk like this about one's parents, and it had really opposing views by a lot of people. Some people were against it completely. Some were saying it's meant to be as a joke, as it's on a joke show, not a national platform. People had the views that our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi had awarded Ranveer Alavadia with an award for influencer in the influencing categories. So he has to use his platform with utmost respect, and he cannot use this kind of language as he also motivates the youth. But people also had their opinion where this show is a light-hearted comedy show where people who are watching this have paid from their own pocket to watch it, so they are willing to watch content like this for laughs or for fun. My views would be, of course, his comment was wrong, but I believe the escalation from which this matter took place is not necessarily right. He apologized on his Instagram handle as well, and all the videos have been taken down. Yet he's being harassed right now. People are also posing. His mother is a doctor, and people are posing as patients to go to his mother's clinic and harass her, which I believe is completely wrong. As everybody should get a chance to get rectify their mistakes, and he has done his part on that point.
What is the view of the Supreme Court?
The Supreme Court has summoned him right now. Samay is in the United States right now because of his show tour, and he asked for a virtual statement if he could provide from the states, but that was denied, and he was told to come to India as soon as possible. And the Supreme Court has also told Ranveer Alavadia to submit his passport in the Thane police station, so he cannot leave the country till the proceedings have been completed.
Okay, tell us something about the tariffs and their impact.
Yeah, so tariffs are basically the taxes which are imposed by the country, and tariffs have both pros and cons depending on how they are seen on that topic. Uh, Tariffs are good for the own country, as then people move towards buying products from their own market, and hence improving the economy of that country. Because and hence the domestic manufacturers win in this case, and the government also earns tax revenues. But because of this, the cons are had to be taken hold by the consumers, as they have to pay higher price for imported goods. And uh, the reason why tariffs are used would be to, as I said, increase the government revenue, as they generate money for the government, and it protects the domestic industry. It gives them an assurance that people would prefer buying from them first, then going international. And because of this results in directly reducing the trade deficit of that country, as more money is importing inside the country. And yeah, this is it. And like there are various types of tariffs based on those things, import or export. When goods are leaving a country, you have export tariffs on it. When goods are entering it, when goods are imported, then you have importing tariffs on them. And this, yeah, and an example would be what India also did on the Chinese goods in 2020 when the border tension was escalating, and they increased tariffs on Chinese electronics and apps, resulting in a lot of bans on Chinese apps and Chinese fashion products such as Shein.
So, which are the industries and countries impacted by Trump's tariffs?
By Trump's tariff would be the industries impacted would be the manufacturing industry, as Trump, as President Donald Trump has said that he would the industry impacted would be, yeah, as manufacturers would be impacted, as people would have to pay a higher price for the wage hours which are proposed in US and not for other countries. So people buying wholesale goods and manufactured goods would have to pay a lot higher price for the same product for the product.
So, which products and which countries are impacted?
India has been affected by that. India just signed a oil deal with US to take oil from them. So India might be affected, as India was getting oil cheaper from Russian sources, but we signed a deal with US for oil, and yeah,
And what about WTO? You have some idea of WTO?
on W
WTO.
WTO would be the World Trade Organization.
Yeah. So, World Trade Organization has been propagating a non-tariff regime, no, for so many years now.
Yeah,
So, Trump's
they want free and yeah, so they want free and fair trade, right? Yes.
Trump's policy goes against that now,
Yeah, they're against that.
and it also goes against free international trade, right?
Yes.
So, what do you think about that?
I believe um, it's important, as it prevents it shows equal importance, it gives equal importance and treatment to all the nations in trade. One country having a higher GDP and higher volume of resources would not be beneficial because of that. So it helps in setting those trade rules for all countries, and it encourages. Yeah, so if the trade is free and there's not a lot of tariffs, then even a lot of developing countries would like to trade. So it's going to help their economic growth as well. But challenges would again be, as you said, like a lot of big nations are opposing this, as they do not they want to impose their tariffs and not keep this. So big countries dominate this, as they have more influence. And India is a member of WTO, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, but the thing is that if I am producing apples cheaper, you are producing oranges cheaper, then it
So
makes
your
sense.
voice is cracking. If you were producing apples,
If I am producing apples at cheaper rate, can you hear
yes,
me?
yeah, you were producing
So
apples at a fixed rate.
I am producing apples at a cheaper rate,
Yeah,
and you are producing oranges at a cheaper rate. It makes sense for me to produce apples and sell to you and buy oranges from you.
yes.
So this tariff barrier will stop that. That will force you to
Yeah,
also.
that's what I said. So yeah, that's what I said. That WTO effectively helps in fostering trade between different countries. As you said, if you have abundance of apples and you can produce them at a cheaper rate, and suppose you have a scarcity of oranges, we can trade those two and get both of them together. But if tariffs are imposed, then it's tough for both of us to have that deal.
What is your alternative if you don't get into a big school this year?
What is my alternative if I don't get into?
Into a good big school this year?
I would I would apply for an PPO in my internship and work there, simultaneously preparing for the examinations as well, and give it my best shot next year.
So your internship is in which area?
My internship is as a web developer.
So web developer to management, how do you connect the dots?
Actually, the I was always keen towards the management part. In my third year, we had a subject called Management Information Systems, a part of our curriculum, which was more of based towards the management side compared to the IT side from which I am. And I really loved the subject a lot, and had a lot of passion in that. I even scored the highest marks, 49 internal component out of 50 in that subject, and topped in my class. And that is where the interest for me in management side came for me, honestly, when I started looking on courses regarding this. And I always did like coding and being in tech, but management was something which I really enjoyed and wanted to take forward. Hence, as a web developer, is something I do enjoy doing, making websites and making it dynamic and easy for the user. But what I believe my heart lies in management, and with the infusion of my tech skills and management skills, I feel I would thrive in this part.
What has been your biggest failure inside?
My biggest failure in life would be when I could not clear the JEE Advanced examination, but which ultimately worked out in the benefit for me as I got into another college where I made new friends and I learned a lot with exchanging with my peers, took part in a lot of competitions, had a lot of fun and learnings, which also made me realize that your failures are your biggest setups for future if you work towards them.
So why didn't you take JE again?
Sorry.
Why did you not appear for JE again?
I did. I could not qualify for the IIT exam. IIT. I could not qualify for IITs. I did take the exam.
Second time.
No, no, first time.
Yeah. So why did you not appear it for the second time?
Because I felt I felt that it was an important decision for me, but it was not the end of the world. And moving forward was the right decision. And I was not sure how things could go in an year because that was also the COVID pandemic year. So I decided to take this option of college.
Sorry, I couldn't hear.
Uh, One second. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, so no, I did not take it for the second year because I felt moving forward was the right option at that point, and I had got into a good college as well, decent college as well, and I thought I thought of not looking back, and I knew I gave it my shot, but if it did not work, I moved on with another college.
So at the end of your life, what should people say about you when you are retired or you are not there? What should people
Uh,
say?
I would want people to remember me as an inspiration, and not as inspiration as a following figure, but inspiration of being a nice person who stick to his ethics and work culture, and made a difference in the industry he worked in, and made like help people grow along with him and not grow out of them.
So which industry this would be?
Uh, as I said, I would I would like to do work the industry. I would like to figure out after I get into an MBA college, MBA course, and then figure out what my forte really is in the wide horizon of management.
As of now, what do you think is your forte? Which specialization?
As of right now, I feel my forte would be being in a leadership entrepreneurial role where I lead not only from the front but with my people and with my team and give and move ahead.
Specialization, marketing, finance.
I feel marketing would be something I'm right now. I'm keenly interested in. Sorry.
So do you have a girlfriend?
Sorry?
Do you have a girlfriend?
No, I broke up 4 months ago.
So you didn't market well or the product didn't last? What happened?
I feel relationships are not to be compared with marketing, as those were we had our differences, which was a completely different topic altogether. And this is something which is completely not on track, on which does not work with. I feel marketing, as this was involving people. We were two human beings with our own feelings and thoughts, not products.
Yeah, but it will be the same thing in any organization. I just said move with the people and not away from them.
Yeah, but no, yeah, I get that. Marketing oneself as that is different, and marketing someone in a relationship is completely different. You need to be vulnerable in a relationship and be honest and be your true self. But while marketing, if you want to market yourself for a company organization, you need to look what is best interest of the company and not yourself.
So do you think the target and segment was not correct
In which case,
in your relationship phase?
no, we had our differences. That's it, and we found that out and worked it out like two mature people.
Hmm. What else should we know about you?
Um, I would like to say that I'm an all-round person. I do not like to stay idle. I want to keep working on something or the other all the time, whether it's working on a paper, reading a book, pursuing my hobbies of right now as I'm learning the guitar, or and I truly believe in fitness also being a part, fitness being not only a hobby or something but a part of your lifestyle, where it is something which should be there in everyone's life, either for half an hour a day, 1 hour, but that should be a part of it. And that is how I also try to make my plans accordingly, that I can squeeze in a workout at some time, a run, or maybe play my sport with my friends and catch up and relax, and that helps me energize and get back at it the next day again. And I'm a person who wants to keep moving forward. I will definitely make mistakes, but the person who learns from their mistakes and move forwards will always be the person who takes too much pride in not making mistakes.
So
That is who I am.
some people think that you have a limited number of breaths to take while alive. And so if you exercise and you start taking deeper and more breaths, then your longevity goes down.
No, I feel that is that is a very debatable topic, and I mean, if you need a lot of researchers need to be in that favor, and there are, I mean, out of there are a lot of some papers might suggest that, but there are a lot of papers which also say that exercising for half an hour a day or increases your dopamine, which helps in making your mood relieved, which helps in lighten your mood and making you focus more. And from a personal experience, what I've also seen is whatever my mood is or whatever my energy is after a workout, even though I'm lethargic, I feel fresh, which helps me in making new decisions and taking new ideas and getting upfront on them. So from a personal point of view, I would say that those long breaths taken at that point would actually result in you getting more chances at breathing in the future.
And what is serotonin?
Serotonin is the happiness hormone which is released when you are spending time with, let's say, a loved one or some of your friends or family. It's a hormone which is released.
And oxytocin?
Sorry, oxytocin is the love hormone which is released when you are hugging a person whom you like or you are spending time with your loved ones and family.
But you said that for serotonin also, na?
No, serotonin is more generally towards like your emotions and like how you feel on your the like how you feel on an overall level. Oxytocin is the love hormone.
And the fourth one?
Dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin. I'm not sure of the fourth one's. I forgot the name, but if you might say the name, I might be able to elaborate on that.
Igda, you have any questions to ask Gurkirat?
What would you describe as your weaknesses?
My weaknesses are something which yes, I definitely want to work on and I'm working on. And one of them would be I do get carried away easily at some times when it's my friends or something. I can procrastinate a bit at some points, and yeah, that is. But at the end of the day, I try to complete it. But yes, I do agree that's not a right way to move forward.
You said that sports are an important part and that you should actually involve in physical activities and you should it helps you improve your work better, right?
Yes.
What is your opinion on the 70-hour work week and whether actually it is useful or not useful? At what stages would a 70-hour work week be applicable in your career?
Yeah, definitely. To answer that question, I would say the 70-hour work week depends on the work you are doing, first of all, and how much you enjoy that work personally. But on a personal note, I would definitely say that the 70-hour work week is a bit of an exaggeration. I believe a person with the right mindset and work culture could do the same work in a less given amount of hours. I feel work should not be justified by the amount of hours you put in, but by the amount of output you get out. The same person, it goes for the same way. The person who can read a book in 2 hours should not be made to sit and read a book in 4 hours if he can read it in 2 hours. So I believe these criteria obviously work is output based end of the day. So I believe these criteria should be judged on the output given rather than the number of hours put in.
All the IIM graduates who are in consulting and private equity, investment banking, they are all working 14 to 16, 18 hours a day. So they are not competent with this.
No, no, but they no, I do. That is not the case. I do agree. I do get why they are working there, but they have chosen to work in that industry which demands that much of work hours. It was their choice to get into that role. Yeah, that's why I feel that's the personal choice. End of the day, someone who is not ready to put in those hours should not go into a role which is such time consuming and heavy. But for these IIM grads who work 14 to 16 hours a day, it's not to tell that they are incompetent or not capable enough, but they knew what they were signing up for and they were mentally prepared for it and went for it. So for them, it's a fair selection.
No, but you said na, that people who are working 14 hours a day, they are probably not competent because if the work can be done in 2 hours,
No,
why
no,
should
that statement was not for like such extreme cases. It was a generic statement where a lot of companies where the people are made to sit, where the office timings are fixed, but if a person finishes their work early, they still need to sit. That my point was based on those companies. But in heavy roles such as consulting, investment banking, those people already know what they are signing up for. So they have that mindset that they are mentally prepared to work for 14 hours, as everybody over there does, and they get the rewards too for that. So that is a personal choice, and they are prepared to work for those many hours.
So how long have you gone without sleep continuously? What is the
Uh,
longest?
Me, personally, I have gone longest for without sleep for one night, and in hours that would be I was up for 36 hours.
And why was that?
As I said earlier, because of my weaknesses, I procrastinated a bit for my examination and did not complete the syllabus on time. So I had to put in the extra effort at the end and pull an all-nighter for my exam. And I had an exam the next day as well, so I had to study for that as well. So that is the duration time when for my final term and examinations I was up for 36 hours,
And
which
you
I would
said
not recommend.
you're learning the guitar.
Sorry, I'm learning.
You're learning the guitar, you said.
Yeah, yeah, I am.
Since when?
It's been this Feb I'll complete 3 months.
So which guitar?
Acoustic guitar. It's a six-string acoustic guitar.
What are what are the parts of an acoustic guitar?
The acoustic guitar consists of the six strings: E, B, G, D, A, and E major. There are frets where you place your fingers to play the chords. You have picks. You have a capo, which is based on the concept of physics as well, which I find very fascinating. To basically change the frequencies of the strings without changing those strings, you place a capo on a fret depending on how close you want it to the sound box or away, which changes the frequencies. So a person singing at a very high voice could keep the capo a bit down around somewhere on the fifth, seventh fret and match his voice with the chords. But a person with a very hoarse voice could keep it up and match it with the frets. So it's a very universal thing which works on a very simple concept of physics, which I find really fascinating. And you have a pick to strum it with you, but you can even strum it without a pick. I personally like strumming it without the pick as my with my thumb. And you have those tuners on every string where you can basically either tighten or loose the string to make the desired sound from that particular string according to the song selection you want to play.
And how many frets are there?
There are 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18. There are what's it, 12, 15, 17. There are 20 frets. Yeah.
Hmm. Yes, Nikita, anything else?
Just one question from my end about the whole 70-hour work week thing. If you were given the option of either taking up a job that requires 14 hours of work per day but pays very well and ensures a successful trajectory in your career, or another job role which has a fixed number of hours, sufficient work-life balance, but maybe not as much money or maybe not as much of a growth trajectory, which would you choose?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. But honestly, that would actually depend a lot on my financial situation at that point and my family situation at that point. If I have to keep time for a loved one or something like that, then I might have to go for the work-life balance week. But personally, at this point, what I feel is I could clock in the 70 hours week where that helps me with my career a lot. And as I said, this is something I enjoy doing. So yes, it would be tiring and hectic. I'm not going to lie and say it's going to be all roses, but it would be something I enjoy doing. And if it's getting the rewards as well, then why not try it? But at this point, I cannot confirm. I cannot give you a 100% answer to that question. It depends on a lot of factors where I would be at that point in my life.
Yeah, let's take some figures, say 14-hour week, 14-hour day at 30 lakhs per annum versus 10-hour day at 20 lakhs per annum.
No, so as I mentioned, the I get it. The salary is important point, but it depends on where I what would be expected from me as a person. Also at that point, from my friends and family. If people need my time and if there are important scenarios like that where my time is more valuable, then I might not have be able to take that option. But if I am free in my head at that point, I have nobody to people to own up to an answer to, then I would go for the 70 hour week.
Yeah, but when you are finished with your MBA, I don't assume that your parents will require your help or anybody in your family or you would be
But
married or anything.
no, but as I said, life is uncertain. Anything could happen at any point. That is my entire argument for this scenario. I do not know what would be the exact scenario 2 years later. Right now, I would say I would go for the 70-hour week to test myself and see how well I am with that, and accordingly make a decision.
But a lot of people who do the 70-hour weeks, even if they have no other thing to do or no other obligation, they face burnout after 2 years and they have to go for therapy and they have to take a break from their job. So a lot of these things are also there now.
Yes, definitely.
So you will accept all that.
I mean, I cannot know. As you said, people do get into this zone after 2 years when they are burnt out. So I cannot know without testing the waters. I will have to take a dip myself and see how the scenario is for me, and then make a rightful decision for me. And a person's success is not defined by how many hours they're working or how much they're making. It's about finding the right balance for themselves. So at least I would be at ease with myself if I know that I did give it a shot and how it worked out for me.
What do you think that there is a balance in corporate life today for youngsters or in
Um,
medicine, law, or any of these high-five professions,
Yeah, you
engineering?
can. It's always about your own time management. End of the day, you could if you could either you could have hours at your hand but not do anything of it and say that you don't have any time, or you could make your schedule such a way that you have those only 2 hours, let's say, but you make the most out of those 2 hours and help yourself. So it's all about time management. Where I feel everybody would eventually have a few hours at their hand end of the day in a day. So it's all about how they make it up, how they make up for it.
Where are you doing your internship?
I'm interning at Career Corps.
So are they paying you anything?
Yeah, they're paying me.
How much?
They're paying me 10,000 per month as a stipend for my internship.
And how many hours a day you have to give it to the job?
It's not fixed as such. I log in around 10 o'clock, and I would say it's around 7 hours, 7 to 8 hours, roughly. Yeah, 7 hours.
And you're not going to college.
Yeah, my last time is only internship. The eighth semester for our programs, according to the new government policy, it's only internship. 10 credit. Instead of getting the subjects, we have a 10 credit internship.
And over there, you are working 7, 8 hours, you're saying.
Yeah, on an average, yeah, 7 hours, 7 to 8 hours, yes.
And your boss or his boss, how many hours they are working?
Um, they would be working, I would say, anywhere around 8 to 9 hours, 8 to 9 hours, I would say.
That's it.
I mean, yeah, from what I know, from what I've seen, I think it's around 8 to 9 hours. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Snigdha, any other question?
No, sir, I'm good.
Give your feedback, Snigdha, to Gurkira.
I think he was pretty articulate with this whole interview. For the initial GK part, I think there was like some that he was lacking a little. Like when you ask questions about U.S. Tariff trade affecting which countries, so he could have mentioned Mexico, Canada, China. So maybe like just along those lines, because those are like very big news articles coming every day. But otherwise, I think he was very fluent and very convincing with his answers.
I think you are doing okay, Gurkira. Just brush up your GK a little bit, huh?
Yeah, yeah. I should have mentioned the Canada Mexico part. She's right, but I forgot. And stuff.
चलो ठीक है. Next, whenever somebody wants to give an interview, I'll put it in the group and you all can. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.